Your early warning detector is here and ready for action.
So that people can hear my voice. I also need to interfere on the desk.
Mutation detected. Reduced visibility due to parasite fog.
R&D needs archaean
Move
tissue
my hand
samples.
and my mouse.
Something about cell structures that keep mutating.
You
Your
good,
target
man?
is in this
Straight.
subzone.
Yo, what's up?
What's up, my buddy? Tell folks to hit his scanner.
There's your target. Neutralize it with your reactor. Yep, it's a goner. Get the next one.
The cardiac sensor is searching.
Device set.
HP7 scanning.
I know that
Recharge.
that West name shouldn't be down here. That med kit, I think.
There it is.
I know there's a laundry
Take it out
machine
with
with
your
a teddy bear in
reactor.
it down here.
Head over there.
Target obliterated. Keep going.
So yeah, this is from another Ubisoft game. Yeah, they put a lot of cool stuff in this game. I just like what do you call it?
Hey, tell buddy, hit your scanner for us.
Scanning with HP7.
Easter eggs.
That's your target. Eliminate it with the takedown. Tissue acquisition complete. Nice going.
Deploying sensor.
Reloading.
It's another one upstairs. Another med kit. I think this is upstairs or downstairs.
Heartbeat sensor deployed.
Do you know where it's at, Pulse?
You'll find to recancel that last
See an
order.
ability recharge.
There's a reach scratch.
Another ability recharge. I don't see the med kit yet.
I think it's
Get a recharge here.
Give me real quick.
Here it
There
is.
we go. Yeah. Yeah, normally when you clear the whole board, everything's supposed to light up. Hey, Smoke, you can use a lot of your abilities too to clear the board, because no, we don't have to use the abilities because I have recharge. So.
Yeah, early on, he should be able to, or they should be able to throw out a lot of smoke, use a lot of abilities.
Yeah,
As well
yeah,
as
because we
extra
already
recharges.
recharged, so yeah.
Airlock sequence. Airlock sequence. Subzone.
And I forgot to boil me some water. I be boiling my water and
Plant foam injectors in the nutrient node to stop the nests from regrowing. The dispenser will have injectors for you.
Device is active.
Sure, get rid of a nest now, but it'll grow back until the...
Now, one thing we don't have to do, we gonna really have to work together because it's gonna get kind of crazy.
Take react gear.
We really gonna have to work together to be honest.
Blast him with a shotgun.
Huh?
Deploying heartbeat sensor.
Reloading my weapon. Item secured! Item
I'm reloading!
Get the foam to do its
chaotic.
thing, and the nutrient
Also,
will stop reviving the nest.
I'm reloading. Reloading.
Look at that black stuff, yeah.
Foam injector. Go there. Converge on location. Cover me while I reload.
That's why I was trying to get it.
Nests can't regrow here for a while. I'll take any win, even if it's temporary.
Maelstrom protocol status. Airlock enabled.
There was
Perimeter destroyed.
Uh-oh. Use your smoke, man.
Huh?
Use gas grenades.
Taking contact!
Oh, I got ore grenades.
Yeah, I was talking to this Zacharias guy. He got hit close range by a red guy. Took out some of his health.
Engage my hostile. Get a recharge. Good time for that airlock.
Airlock sequence initiated. All personnel to airlock immediately.
Day one goose.
Airlock sequence. Subzone transition in effect.
Random numbers. almost all the weapons, all the reactive
R&D
gear
needs a
and
living, breathing
weapons
arcane of a special
or ammo
kind.
is all been dissipated
Locate the target.
instantaneously.
Cardiac sensor performing a sweep.
Also, lots of alarms are
Deploying
going off.
device.
Seems like a bit of a problem.
Reloading.
HP 7 scanning.
Dude, be really careful here.
More ammo here.
I know you're the one who's been taking it all. So Ghost and yeah, these two definitely have it. So I'm definitely gonna want to take the next one. Probably double if it's a big one. They haven't taken any. Double.
There's ammo here. Go there.
Yeah, there's ammo there. Go take it. I am kind of low on ammo. Right now.
Ammo.
There's your
restock.
target. It better not die on its way to the
You'll find a
extraction
recharge
point.
here. Eliminate my target.
Reload. Deploy device.
Care about the experience. Pick up plenty of ammo.
Device is set.
Taking damage just to get a few extra handles.
It's not going off. Hold your breath, mate. Reload!
Whatever you do not kill that router.
Heartbeat sensor.
Capture system armed. Capture complete.
You delivered on your end. Our scientists will do the rest.
Maelstrom protocol status. Airlock enabled. Parameters restored.
Thanks.
Thank you very much.
React gear.
Thank you very much.
Here's a recharge.
I guess if this is for me, yeah, he marked it, so if this is for me, I'm gonna try to give him.
Physical performance.
Who getting that react tape? I think I see him. Never mind.
Yeah, I was getting it since it didn't look like anybody
Yeah,
else was
yeah,
about to grab it.
yeah. I see. You good?
Bringing spores to you guys.
I owe you one.
Airlock sequence. Subzone transition in effect.
Going smoothly so far.
Mutation detected. Risk of sludge from Archaean remains.
Device is active.
Arc spines allow the enemy to adapt, even regrow carapace. It's some weird ecosystem feeding relationship. Locate those spines.
My
Post, hit your, thank you.
Heartbeat sensor deployed.
yes.
Deploy the device.
I'm not going upstairs. I'm just clearing what's close.
Reloading my weapon.
What's close around.
Throwing in that knife.
Oh, yeah.
Reload.
I'm about to catch up with Pulse up here.
I got ammo. Device is active.
My bad. I thought he was gonna shoot you.
Yeah, I'm with you right now.
I need folks to hit his
Cardiac
scanner.
sensor searching.
Folks, you gotta keep hitting that scanner.
Sorry, I was shooting stuff.
Hey, you shoot that sludge one time. That's
Yeah, see, that's why I wasn't keeping my scanner out much.
If you shoot it while it's on the ceiling, like empty a whole clip in it, it'll take the whole. It'll kill the sludge while it's up there.
Go ahead and plant those charges. That's gonna make some Archeans pretty unhappy. Stay frosty.
Take more ammo.
I'm behind you, Smoke.
That's exactly how you run your fight. Puppets tell me to do something, I comply, and then it fucks me over. And they're all fake, so it doesn't actually
There's a recharge here. Cancel the last
I
direct
really have no reason to do any of this.
Reinforcing the wall.
sensor.
Wall is reinforced.
I'm not pulling this thing out.
Cover while I reload! Wall reinforced.
So we've got one guy just running around, setting off alarms, doing who knows what, taking supplies. He's not taking them. He's doing a decent job of that. But we got another guy who's just kind of pretending to. I mean, I guess he's pretending he doesn't know what he's doing.
Window barricade up.
I got this one down here while y'all get the one upstairs. I got this tree down here.
Window barricade deployed.
But yeah, see, he's kind of like got this. Or, yes, I know what I'm doing. Do
Window
what I
barricade
say.
up.
He's not being rude about it or anything. He's just kind of.
Window barricade up. React charge on.
When y'all ready, y'all can plant that one up there.
I'm kidding.
Barricade deployed. React charge on. Commencing fusion.
Incoming. Protect the charges until they detonate.
Device set.
Oops, my game just lagged.
Deploying device.
Yeah, I prevented him from killing that dude's thing, and then he detonated it anyway, so.
He come over here by me.
Okay, what the hell? There was no animation for that at all whatsoever. It was literally being fucking drawn in by the aura grenade. See what I mean? Like, all you have to do is just make shit just randomly, magically cause problems when I'm doing everything essentially.
Hey, you want that kill, don't you? You chased him from all the way upstairs.
Or where that came from.
Yeah, one of them slapped me in the face, and it kind of pissed me off because he was literally walking towards the aura grenade and shouldn't have reacted to me at all. He even had the little sparkles around him, so he was completely lured.
Yeah, him right there. He coming down here too, I think. Well, he up there by yep.
Arc spines are gone. Nicely done. They can't risk it with the parasite.
You were way too loud.
Get a recharge.
Recharge.
Absolutely.
There's ammunition here.
One thing the damn does. I literally heard it, looked around for it, didn't fucking see it, pulled out my scanner, looked around as commanded by the other dude, and then it just suddenly was right there on top of me. Weird. Weird, huh? Weird, weird.
Airlock sequence initiated. All personnel to airlock immediately. Airlock sequence subsystem transition.
can get a sample of the malignant neoplasm right from the source.
Get a sample of that neoplasm. On reloading.
About to drop down on this poor man.
Oh, move!
Dude, did you see that?
Who did they catch?
Bro, it looked directly at Ghost. It looked directly at him, as if it saw him. And then when it turned towards him, and when I dropped down on it, instead of me coming behind it, I fucking landed directly on top of it. Because it was looking directly at me. Then it would drop down and then popped up underneath me, knocked me over, so I couldn't melee and stop him screaming. Like, it's too fucking obvious. None of that should have happened. They're literally randomly trying to look directly at him. That hadn't made any fucking noise.
Ready to fire.
Fuck all the damn nests. Because there's more enemies over
Contact
here.
here.
And this alarm, there literally wasn't anybody even here. This alarm, they randomly fucking howled like through the fucking wall before I was even over here.
All
And suddenly
nests
all
are
these
gone.
nests were active.
Get a sample.
There's something behind me, I guess. Still one more
Cardiac
nest
sensor
in here.
performing a sweep.
Excellent.
Over there.
We'll learn more on the changes to their nest ecosystem.
Eliminate my target.
Maelstrom protocol.
I'm gonna go from the bottom first, Shadow.
Parameters restored.
See, did you see that? I shot him and he blew up and this dude turned directly towards me. Like, why did he turn towards me instead of towards the...
We really don't have to clear. We already cleared the board, so we good. We can actually leave because somebody get hurt. Unless you just want the point.
Cover me while I reload.
There's an elite tormentor over there somewhere.
Deploy the device.
Hold on for 1 second.
Confirm.
Yeah, see, he said, hold up for 1 second, and Sucker Eyes just said, just immediately walked over there and voted, no hesitation.
Reloading weapon!
Alright, I'm ready.
The airlock sequence initiated. All personnel to airlock sequence subzone.
Hey, Post, you can only go down one time, man. You got that daggone gun.
Good.
Yeah, you should got that quick, got the revive, so you go down with
Personnel,
the
prep for exfil. We got an SOS from this subzone. They secured key data and can't get out. Exfil our react personnel.
I think this is the Immortal Smasher right here.
Cloak is up.
But we gotta be careful.
Yeah, I definitely heard a smasher.
Yeah, I think this the Immortal Smasher, so we don't want to run into him.
Oh, yep, you're right. I saw him. He's right over here to the. He's actually right where the. He's actually right where the dude is, and I think
That-
out
yeah, no-
so.
Yeah, so
Cardiac sensor searching.
that's why you never want to go in the middle. Never go in the middle, buddy.
Device is active.
Stay out the middle. Stay out of the middle.
On your feet, come on.
Yeah, you
Always
always gotta
stay
go
on
around the outer edges.
Yeah, always go on the outskirts of the board, then go in the middle.
Okay, yeah. So the ghost definitely knows what he's doing.
Device is set.
Window barricade.
That one doesn't seem to be fully lured. Are you wanting to take him out, Vigil?
I can't hear you. What you say?
Vigil, do you want to take that one out since he didn't seem to be lured by your...
Engage my heart.
Nothing but order. You don't need aura.
Engage my target. Reload.
What we gonna do is we gonna see where that smasher at.
The smasher was in the right in the courtyard, just outside of where the asset is, like outside the window. So you may want to go invisible, grab the asset, and pull safe from there. Because otherwise, the smasher may want
We good. We got it. Yeah, good job. See, that's teamwork. I like that. That's teamwork right there.
Yeah, that's good teamwork.
You good now? Come on. Grab him.
I'm grabbing him.
Thank you, sir.
Bring
Come
the
on.
asset to the extraction pod.
My cloak is out.
I guess Zacharias is distracting. Question mark?
Man, he didn't have to because I could have cloaked
No,
him.
he came right behind us afterwards.
Yeah,
just looking around.
good job. But like I said,
I think he was just
I
looking
could have cloaked us, and he would have never seen us if I
Just say the
had
fellow react
cloaked.
member. They'll remember that.
Yeah, because he walked right up to us in that doorway.
Yeah. I ain't gonna play with him. I'm gone.
There's a recharge.
I'm in the airlock.
Western protocol status.
Yeah. The only way you can kill him is if you get him in the airlock and everybody press it. See, I told you. I don't think you want to play with him.
He seems to want to play with him.
Oh, yeah, okay.
He's having himself
He
some
gonna
fun.
find. Uh-huh.
Uh-oh, there's still a nest somewhere that I didn't scan.
Heartbeat sensor.
It's all good. It's all
there it
good.
is.
It's all good. Yeah, it's all good. As long as we beat the, as long as we completed the objective, we good.
Airlock sequence initiated.
It's kind of nice to clear the map. Makes you feel good, but yeah, it's not necessary.
Yeah,
Right?
that way you don't have to worry about nothing.
Yeah,
You know?
it's especially fun on the little earthquake one.
Yeah. Now I'm gonna be honest with the triangulation. That's different.
Yeah.
Go hit your
The
scanner.
Marquees are responding to an elite as if they're communicating.
7 scanning.
No way we
Enemies are close, so we gotta be real careful.
Hunt them
That-
down
Yeah,
before the
yeah,
elite
yeah,
comes out of
yeah.
hiding.
I'm gonna stick with you for this one.
Another one
For
down.
some apparent
How
reason.
about that?
Scanning with HB7.
Good job. Good job. Let's try to get outside. Let's get outside.
Yeah, a lot of people like to hide in the airlock when the elite's coming, but if it's a
Hit your scanner. Hit your scanner.
Deploying heartbeat sensor.
Device is set.
Oh my God.
Head to
We gotta kill her.
That's an elite apex too, not just a regular apex.
Top up. Reloading. Reloading my weapon. Device is active. I'm reloading.
We got nests and an elite.
I
elite
know.
apex, so
I know.
This might be the end of our friend. Actually, wait, I've got an adrenaline pistol. Let me go get him.
Impact grenade!
That's
That elite was changing its mind about rallying others.
I tried to run the
yeah.
pistol and the rush pistol and save it, but I couldn't because I got knocked off of it.
No, that's his
Take down
fault.
my target!
That's his fault.
We still got nests to deal with, so I'm gonna see.
I
if
know,
can-
I know,
oh,
I
actually,
know,
spot
I know.
two.
Hit your scan.
All right, yeah, I got. Oh, there's a tormentor above, right in front of me.
Come over here so we can be together. That way to work out.
I'm just trying to stay off the goop so that I can not get stuck while feeling busy. I'm moving in. Alright, I got a few of the nests. I'm backing off and circling around to where you're at.
Alright.
Alright, right behind you.
Hit your scan for me so I can see.
There's something to our left, or there was. Maybe it's dead now. Alright, I got several of the nests possibly over.
Alright.
Device is active.
I'm gonna rescan here just a
Hit your scanner up here. Is it any more nests up here or was that it?
I just see you. I'm not quite
Okay, cool.
close
That's-
enough, so there might be
That's
some
good.
way
That's
in
cool.
the back, and that's usually where the
I
apex
could close
spawns.
this. I could close this.
Corner
It's all.
nest.
I could close this. Come on. Come grab him.
Moving the casualty.
Secure our casualty in the pod at the
Dang.
intersection.
This always happened to me, man. This always happened.
I I hear
You
something
good?
else.
You good? You good? I got you. I got you. I'm watching you.
Deploying the device.
Get our
This
casualties
always
in
happens to me,
extraction
man.
Down my squad.
Well, what are the next two?
You want to try?
Triangulation is easy. I'm not sure if we can do serial
Job on
shooters
the
in
rescue.
social though.
Engage my
I mean, we can, but look, the thing is, we got to move together, though.
Master protocol status. Airlock enabled. Perimeter restored.
You want to try, or what you thinking?
I mean, do you want to do more? Or?
It don't matter to me. It's up to you.
Yeah, let's keep going.
Hey,
You can make
All
us
right, let's
invisible
roll it.
on the scanning pad, and then we can.
yeah,
play
yeah,
around with
yep. The thing is, take out as many nests as we can, and then keep on going. That's it.
The problem is if we end up with too many tormentors, apexes, or smashes. Which
I know.
It's going to
So
be the last
if-
area,
if-
so we're probably going to be overwhelmed. But I've got 2 impacts and I've got an adrenaline rush pistol, so we could potentially, if you go down or something bad happens, I'll rush pistol myself and pick you up. If I go down, you can close and pick me up. So we've got that. We have options if things go bad.
Yeah.
Airlock sequence. Subzone transition inspect.
And I got 2 impacts in case we
An
end up
operator
with
activated the
I'm gonna say I got 10 ore grenades.
Oh, okay, yeah, you got 10 ores. That should get us through the objective, hopefully.
So hit your serial
should be
scan.
easy. This one we just clear nests and get the objective.
So the
next
thing is, we
one's
can't
one
get no house.
I
That's
saw
the thing.
Smasher near you.
Device is active.
He over here with me. So let's try to clear the people. If we can clear the people, then we'll be good. As long as we don't get no house, we'll be awesome.
You
Yeah,
have to
I
follow
feel like
the
we can
correct
make
order.
their house.
First station first.
That can work. I like this guy. This guy's good.
Eliminate my target.
I was a little concerned about him at first. Because, I was listening to his instructions and ended up taking some damage. But I think he's alright. We've already secured one station. Holy moly, that's a lot of nests.
We good. No. Let's come. Bump it. Let's see. Let's go with a less nest set first.
Close the door.
Triangulate the source at the first station.
There'll normally be an apex somewhere, so watch out for that apex. If the apex come, we both gotta get her.
Yep, you're right about that. Smasher's coming.
All right, you can go ahead and get him. I got him.
Around. Oh, okay, I went around the
You good?
I don't like to end up in front of them.
Hit your scan so we can see what he's next at.
Heartbeat sensor activated.
There's something directly in front of me here.
Deploying the device.
I got an apex.
Engage my hostile.
Nope.
Where is it?
He over here. All right, so. All right, you ready to get her? Yep. Hit your what's name again?
HP 7 scanning.
All right. Are you ready to get her?
Hold up. Let me take out some nests.
You ready?
Spawn something.
Come on, we gotta get her.
Alright, go.
No, how?
Back up, back up. Another Apex just spawned, as well as the Smasher. The room you're in. The Smasher spawned from that nest up there that I marked. It's on the ceiling somewhere. I see it.
I got you. Dang it!
Shit, you're down. Alright, I'm gonna adrenaline pistol and see if I can get you out of there.
Yeah, you.
I got you.
Oh, where you at? Where you at? Where you at? I thought you was with me.
Reload!
I thought you was with me.
I was just shooting enemies in nests. Where did you go to?
I'm right here. I'm right here still.
Alright, I see you, I see you.
I thought you was with me. That's why.
I mean, I was pretty close, but I was like circling around the room.
All right.
Take out my target! Deploy device!
Yeah, I definitely don't think we can do the next area. After we complete this objective, I say we get out of here. I'm completely out of gear.
Device is ready!
No, we don't. No, we don't. We good. We still good. We still good.
Reload!
Hey, we just gotta find these nests. That's it.
Cardiac sensor searching.
Right, we can get this area, but the next area, I don't think we can do the next area.
Where the nest at?
They're over here to our left. Looks
Alright.
like I only see one that's pulsing right now, so they may not all be active.
Dope,
We
that
might be able to switch back to stealth here pretty soon.
Reloading.
Masters, back up, back up.
I know.
You good?
No. We should have got him.
Alright, alright. Yes, good.
Yeah.
There.
We got 4 minutes.
They don't seem to be attracted to it right
You know what? Let's try to cloak.
now. Here, let's get this nest over here. This one in the corner is active.
I moved out. I moved out. My cloak gone.
Yes.
All right. I need your help. I need your help.
Check out 2 more nests. They're active. Like all these nests back here are active.
I gotta. Hey, go around the other way.
I had to switch loud because something spotted.
Go around the other way.
Oh yeah, I see Apexes. Yeah, I'm going out this way. Yeah, I took out like all these nests back here were active. I took a bunch of them out, but oh hey, this one found one that wasn't active. But I'm completely separated from you right now.
I wish you could find the other nest. I mean the other
I'm reloading!
come on. We got. Come on. Let's hit him. We got them all.
HP7 scanning.
Okay, I'm not seeing any nests. So yeah, the other one is station
Yeah.
6 right here.
I'm about to hit him. I'm about to hit A and B.
Commencing seismic triangulation. Setting timeout interval.
It's working. Get to the next station.
Updating seismic triangulation.
Good. Make your way
Alright,
to the
Let's go. Can you get to the what's the name?
Hey, am I going to the extraction or the airlock?
Okay, the airlock.
Yeah, there's several enemies right here between you. They're in the
All right,
lower floor.
let's come on. Bump that. Come on, let's go. You
Airlock?
with me? All right. Let's get up out of there. Bump that. Let's go. Oh my God, where you go? I thought you was with me.
There was a smasher walking around. I was trying to avoid him. I kept
Oh,
having to shoot the little guys that were still running around.
I'm about to say, you know the crazy part is, if we extract it, how many points you get?
49K.
How many points you get?
49K. 49,000.
Dang. I don't know if that's enough though. I got.
Oh, you trying to get platinum or whatever?
I'm about to say, if we would extract it, we could have got a purple diamond. But I got 51, so I know I have it.
I mean, I don't really care about getting the max rank. I just care about the 20K you get for the special points. So I don't really care about that. So we can go ahead and you get like 90% bonus.
So you want to extract?
Sure, yeah, we'll kill a few things on the way out. See if we can go both get platinum or whatever. But I'm more concerned with actually, making it to extraction.
I hit your serial scan. I mean, hit your
Heartbeat sensor deployed.
Yeah. You should get a lot of points anyway because you got the you get points off of your weapon line.
Eliminate my target.
There are lots of sludges on the ceiling, so start watching. Yeah, keep your eyes up.
Oh shoot!
It's an Apex. Let's just close the door and back up.
We killing.
Alright, good
We
job.
ain't about to rough no. Yeah, we ain't about to run. Hit your west line.
Heartbeat sensor.
So let's make a pathway to the extraction case. We gotta just run to the extraction.
Window barricaded.
Sounds like a plan.
I hear an Apex somewhere.
Friendly, ceasefire!
Good shot. I still couldn't get it.
Yeah, you gotta set that weapon to like single fire to get really precise shots like that.
Barricade up.
You keep it on full auto, you ain't never gonna hit. Oh, I see it. I see the.
You ready? You ready for this Apex?
Engage my eyes.
Alright, check out the sludge first.
Cardiac sensor searching.
Yeah, there you go. That's how you get your points. That's how you get your points.
I usually get most of mine. I have over if I have
Hit your
HB7.
Yeah, they just disappeared. There's a slight animation. Back out.
I'm reloading! Take down my target!
nice.
Deploying device!
You ready?
Reloading!
Boy, look at that.
Nice.
Like we could have had him hit your post one more time. So if we could have kept him with us, we'd have been good.
We still got to extract him, so we'll still get a 90% bonus instead of like 60. Yeah, having him would have made the last area possible.
Yeah, man. That's it.
That's all I'm seeing, unless I'm somehow missing something.
Nah, that's it.
Nice shot.
Reload!
Man, I wish we could have. Oh, it's all good, man. Hey, you a good player, man. I'm gonna add you on my my thing on my Ubi.
Alrighty.
That was a good one. That was nice. That was nice.
Thanks to your success, we might get additional private funding.
Huh?
Some better snacks, my nigga.
That what?
Need some better snacks. What's the snacks?
Pretty good. GG.
Did you get the purple? Let me see.
I don't know. How much do you need?
Yeah,
to
you
get
got it. You got it. You got it. You got it. I'm looking at it now. You got it. Yep.
All right,
you got
cool.
it. Yep. I'm gonna add you too, man. When you go to your UB Connect, you'll see me.
Alrighty.
Good game, man. Yep. Whoops. Let's go.
Yeah, that guy seems pretty cool. He's like Lamont, except he's a little better than Lamont. Just a wee bit better. Loading the friend list. Please wait. We need to update. You've added a new person to your friends list. Yeah, see, Lamont's still playing. Alright, he added me. Should I invite him? Should he invite me? Should nobody invite anybody? Should we just go our separate ways now? I mean, I got done what I wanted to get done. Restaurant completed. How much was it? 90. How much you get for 75? Is it like 90, 95? Does it have to be above 95 or 90%? Whatever, 90,000. This is at 10,000, at 50. No, at 10,000, at 20,000, 25,000. So it's like what? At another 20,000? Why does it jump from 25,000? Then it adds. Yeah, it's 30. Yeah, no, sorry, 20,000, then 25,000. I would have thought it would have been another 25,000. I would have thought it would have had to be like, you know, 10K or 100K experience for it to actually, you know. Well, make a new friend. Maybe that's what I should have named the stream. Making new friends. What's that? Day one goes 313. If he's not a cheater, then you know, he might be somebody I would enjoy playing with more. Even if he is a cheater, he's a super friendly cheater. But I can't respect people who lie, man. And if you cheat, you basically lie about how good you are at the game. I didn't notice anything suspicious. He seemed to have all the tactical know-how, and he was, you know, verbally communicating. So that's my kind of teammate. Verbal communication. You know, as long as they're not, as long as it's more of like a, you know, a group communication and less of a, yo, do this, yo, do that, do this. And I admit, you know, I'm pretty, I'm very compliant, obedient. I'll do something if someone tells me or asks me to do it. But the thing is, you know, like, usually, I mean, I'll use the thing, but like, it was a little more fast-paced than what I prefer. I prefer to play the game very slowly, very stealthily. And so, you know, that's why I don't pull out my scanner as often. I'm not constantly keeping up the site of the nests or anything like that. Like, if I'm, you know, if I need to figure out where some nests are, if I need to, you know, the area's clear, I know there's no enemies nearby, and I want to know where the nests are, or if, you know, the nests are active and they're, you know, I've dealt with the enemies and I need to figure out, you know, where they are so I can try to make a play, then I'll pull it out. But I usually don't have it up constantly 24/7. Because then if an enemy comes around the corner, I have less reaction time because I have to put it away and wait for that animation to finish before I can aim the weapon and shoot it. So I have less time to actually get it, take out an enemy who's trying to howl. Like if a sludge suddenly appears at my feet, I won't see it until I won't know it's there until after it starts damaging me. So it'll do multiple hits of damage instead of just a single hit before I wipe it out. So it's just I like to only have my scanner out when I know that I'm not going to be attacked while I'm pulling it out. And him telling me when to do it, he wasn't considering my situation. But I tried to have as much uptime as possible because I know that's how he plays the game. He likes having that vision, the nests, and I knew that would help the guy out. And I was just trying to be helpful. But other than that, though, those are very minor complaints. It's not that big of a deal. We still came out on top. I still enjoyed the game. But there at first I was a little frustrated because that one player wasn't playing too well, and he was, like I said, he wasn't like trying to be bossy or anything. It was just that's the way it came out to me. But I know that he wasn't trying to come off that way. He was just excited, and he's like, hey, yeah, let's do this, let's get this done. And he wasn't trying to boss me around or anything. It's just I guess I'm more of a natural leader, so I kind of understand the scenario better, or maybe not the scenario, but I understand the dynamics better. And I hadn't played with him yet, so I wasn't sure how he played, and he was just kind of like, he wasn't, like I said, he wasn't being bossy, but he was kind of suggesting for me to do things. So like I said, it wasn't a big deal. Like I said, I'm just randomly complaining about things that really aren't that big of a deal and that I shouldn't be complaining about. But like I said, it could have been a lot worse if it was someone who was rude and disrespectful and who actually was bossy. So it's just for me, it was like, I know what I'm doing, but I've also discovered after playing with him for a little bit that he knows what he's doing. And so, we kind of got used to being, I got used to playing with him. He kind of reminds me of Lamont, though. Like, where you at? Where you at? Where you at? That part definitely reminds me of Lamont. He expects you to be standing right next to him. But me, I know I like to move around. I like to avoid getting taken down by enemies. I like to, I wasn't standing right with him, so I wasn't also getting hit by attacks. I wasn't right in the middle of being surrounded by enemies. I know how to move while I shoot. Like, maybe that was the issue. When he's it could be a situation where he's not as coordinated as I am, and so he can only shoot or move. He can't do it both at the same time, maybe, or something. Maybe he doesn't play video games as often as I do. Or it could be a situation where he's he plays more games, or maybe in this game he plays tankier individuals, where he was playing Vigil. Maybe he didn't expect to take as much damage, and he was expecting to have play a more brute force playstyle, especially with the way the other guy had been playing. And then my playstyle is just completely different as I avoid the enemies and try to engage them at a distance to where I'm not gonna, because my whole thing is completely avoiding damage. So even though I can play the tank class, I much prefer the other classes, the stealthy classes, the heavy ordnance classes, like Fuse with just all the heavy bombardment. I like all the classes where I wipe out the enemies without taking a single point of damage. So I've had a lot of practice with completely evading enemies. And like I said, I'm not even sure, what other games this dude plays. It looked like he was max level on his character. Not sure if he's max level on all characters. So he's probably like Lamont. He's probably played this a ton. And that would explain why he has all the novels. Like I said, I really don't think he's a cheater. It's always a possibility, but I don't suspect it as of right now. But the dude was, in total, the dude was enjoyable to play with. I had two minor complaints that were really more of just, wrong place, wrong time. He gave me that command, and then I went to, I pulled out my scanner, and it just happened to be bad timing. That's not really his fault. That's just, I was upset about it because the other dude, didn't seem to be playing too well. That bad timing made me take damage, but I could have just not complied with him, and I could have popped on voice chat and said, "Hey, give me a sec. I hear it, you know, I hear something nearby, because I definitely heard the thing, I just didn't see it. So, but anyways, yeah, so it, you know, and like I said, and I understand that, and that's kind of why, like I said, I understand, you know, it's not only is it not a big deal, because it's a freaking video game, but also I understand, you know, what was going on and why it was going on, so it's like, you know, it's not that big of a deal. So yeah, I like that guy. I'd be more than happy to play with him again. He was cool. He was friendly too. He was Ghost. No, he was one. Yeah, he was with a number. He was one Ghost, 313, right? Or Ghost 1313. It was Ghost 1313. Day one Ghost 313. Day one Ghost 313. Yeah, that was him right there. But yeah, Lamont. I guess Lamont didn't feel like playing with me today because. You know, I was talking to Lamont on Discord about playing with him sometime today, and then after I came on later in the afternoon, it was like 3 o'clock or something, and then he was online, he was on the game, and I messaged him on Discord to let him know I was on, and then he just like immediately goes into an he never invited me or anything. Usually he like invites me and I'm like in a game, so then he invites me and then I try to accept the invite. When I get out of the game, I accept the invite, and then it's like, oh, you can't join this party because they're already in the game. And this time he was out of the game. I let him know on Discord that I was, you know, ready to play, and he just immediately joins in an incursion. And when I tried to join Maelstrom or regular incursion, I tried to join them both. So I'm assuming that he was already in a party. He does make friends on here a lot, so he's probably already in a 3-man party, and then just decided to, you know, and he couldn't invite me because the party was already full, and he just decided to go ahead and play with whoever he was playing with. Because when I was trying to join a match, in both Maelstrom and in the join matchmaking with any region, I was searching for like more than 10 minutes, and while I was I went back and forth a little bit and couldn't find a squad in either group. So then I went to Maelstrom, searched for it, and then while I was waiting the next like 10 minutes, it was actually more than 10 minutes, I went ahead and started setting up the stream so that I could, you know, stream a little bit. But anyways, someday I'm gonna get like a VTuber model, or I'm gonna turn my camera back on or something. But anyways, one of these days you're gonna be able to see my face and all the concentration as I quietly play the game. But for me, it's better when I feel like it's better when I'm playing with, like, I can communicate with that person. You know what I mean? Like, I can tell jokes, whatever, something that actually feels natural, instead of me trying to make up something funny. Like, because I know that, you know, if I'm recording things for a video or if I'm streaming, then there are people who are going to later witness what I've said, so I can say funny things, but it's like, it just doesn't feel right. If you know what I mean, like, it feels weird. I'm still not used to telling jokes to people who aren't actually there. But yeah, so as of right now, and also when I'm playing video games, I'm usually very concentrated on the game that I'm playing. So if I want to be entertaining, I'm gonna have to play games that require less concentration. But those games aren't as fun, so that's why I kind of like stepped away from content creation. I'm like, I'm not very good at this. I don't think anybody really likes my videos. So I just decided I was gonna chill for a little bit, and I'm still gonna do that. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not gonna take, for now, I'm not gonna take content creation seriously. I feel like reaction videos is what I'd be good at, because I like to discuss things. I'm very good at explaining things. Right now, I've been really enjoying, and I know the moment I say this, everyone who, if anyone ever actually does find my videos, they're just going to immediately try to villainize me. They're going to make up lies about me. They're going to take anything that I do say, and they're going to try to twist it into something else, into a lie, because that's what these people do. But I'm a big fan of people like Nuxanor, and there have been several VTubers like Alana and Leaflet who actually make sense. They just say things that anyone who has lived in the world for more than 5 seconds understands. People who actually have experienced the real world will understand what they're saying and why they're saying it. And people who and all the people who try to make up lies about them, people who've encountered those kinds of people, the evil people who make up lies about them, will know exactly what they're talking about. Because once you've dealt with it enough, you like see the tactics and you see the way they go about things, and you understand how these people are doing it. And the only way they can really get away with it is there's pretty much three main ways. One way is that the people who they're lying to are evil, and they understand what's going on, and they're perfectly willing to side with the wicked person who's making up the lies. 2, they're extremely stupid, and they try to logic out the lies, and they fall for the flawed logic, and they just go along with it because they don't understand that it's wrong. Or 3, they are, I guess I don't have, we've got evil, stupid. I don't really have like a one-word description for this one yet. Maybe I need to expand my vocabulary or actually think about it for more than a minute. But essentially, the third category of people are the people who like to instantly judge people. Like they'll take your word for things without putting too much thought into it. So they like easily impressionable. People who are easily impressionable. So these people will tell these lies to someone, and then they'll explain it, and the person will be like, "Oh yeah, okay, that makes sense," and then they'll just immediately go along with it and believe it, and they don't ever bother to investigate. They don't bother to confirm whether or not it's truth or lie, or to try to they have no critical thinking skills. So they're not necessarily stupid or evil, but they just don't really care too much. They don't bother. And they follow like the popular opinion. So when an entire group of people is saying this, even if it's less than half of the overall total population on, say, the internet or the group that they're in or whatever, if they are surrounded by people who have a similar opinion, they will adopt that opinion simply to fit in, and they're not like a person who fights for truth or honesty or anything. They essentially are fighting for survival and to fit in. They're just they quickly adapt to whatever scenario, whatever situation they're surrounded by, and they don't really think they don't go too deeply into anything, like the meanings behind anything or the importance of anything, or whether or not it actually benefits people. Like they're the kind of people who say, "Oh, all killing is bad," because they've never been in a situation where someone is trying to kill you or the people or the ones you love, and you have no way of disarming them. Like you essentially have to kill them or nearly kill them. You have to brutally defend yourself from them. You have to engage in a physical conflict in order to prevent them from killing the people that you love, because killing is bad and they are attempting to kill you even though you've done nothing to them. So it's a situation where you would be defending yourself, and according to the law it would be self-defense. But like I said, there are some people who they don't really think about it too much. Someone says, "Oh yeah, killing is bad," and they just kind of go along with it. They're like, "Oh yeah, killing is bad," because they don't actually think about the actual application or the scenario, the application of the scenario. They don't think about how deep. Obviously, murder is bad. Killing people for no reason is bad. But there are times when you actually have to adhere to violence to protect yourself. And even with technology, even with us having like non-lethal weapons, like the beanbag guns and like the police having beanbag guns and tasers, sometimes they just don't work. Sometimes when the taser is deployed, sometimes it does not actually stop the person and cause them to spasm out. Sometimes the beanbag does not cause enough pain compliance for the person to give up. Sometimes the person is either like on some like serious substances, or the person has so much adrenaline flowing through them that they just aren't affected by any of the non-lethal techniques. And yeah, so the officers could try to engage in some sort of like wrestling maneuver or something like that. But the thing is, if that person is being violent and doing things that are illegal, if that person is fighting against society in the first place, in my opinion, they've lost the right to live. They know that police have guns, and they know that civilians have guns. So if they invade somebody's house, they know that they could get shot. They're fully aware of this, So they're basically signing us permission to, if we defend ourselves, they're essentially signing us permission to end their life. And in a situation like that, I do not feel bad for that person. I'll feel bad for their family members because their family members lost someone that they love. But you know, if their family members are sitting here trying to defend them, saying, "Oh, they didn't do anything, they didn't do nothing wrong, they were an innocent kid, you know, they never meant to hurt nobody, they were just minding their own business," their family is essentially telling lies. Like if their family says, "Dang, I loved my, you know, son, daughter, wife, husband, aunt, uncle, whoever what the criminal was. Oh, I loved them. I really wish they hadn't chosen to do what they did. It was what they did was wrong, and I'm sorry that they're gone, and I'm gonna miss them." You know, then I, you know, they're sad that they're gone. They still love them, but they recognize that what they did was wrong and that they caused their own demise. If that is how the family feels, then I would sit, you know, I would meet with the family. You know what I mean? Like I would grieve with them. I'd be like, yeah, you know, it really sucks that happened. You know, I'm sorry that you lost someone you loved. You know what I mean? Like I would support the family. But in a situation where the family is just going to sit there and tell lies about the person, about the criminal, and say that you know, try to tell lies about the cops or try to tell lies about whoever, and this, for me, the same goes with the cops. I don't always support the cops. I know that there are corrupt cops. I don't know how rare or how frequent it is. I know corruption seems to be more common than what I would prefer it to be. But, you know, I know that there are bad cops who literally plant drugs on people that didn't, you know what I mean? Like there are some bad cops out there. I don't know exactly how many. I don't know the percentage of cops that are bad. I don't know the frequency. But I do know that they exist, and I do not like bad cops because, again, they're lying. They're making all the good cops look bad. They're making all the other cops look bad. And they're potentially arresting innocent people. Now, maybe it gets a little bit fuzzier when it comes to cops that are, like, the cops will do something illegal in order to arrest somebody that is a bad person, that is known to have killed people, or that has, you know what I mean? Because there are some laws that I feel don't make any sense. Like when you have, like, the mob bosses, and they, you know what I mean, and they know that someone is a criminal, they know that that person has done a lot of bad stuff, but according to the law, they're not allowed to arrest them, so that they, like, if they were to go and, like, plant drugs on someone who they know was already dealing drugs in the first place, but that person was just so good at it and so careful about it that they never got caught. That I'd be perfectly fine with that, honestly, because we know that they're, you know that they're breaking the law. But the thing is, with body cams and with technology now, they don't really need to do anything like that anymore. And also, they wouldn't get away with doing it to an innocent person as easily because of, you know, body cams. So I do like the idea that body cams exist on police officers. You know, they should keep them on at all times. Like, you might look bad for saying something rude or racist or disrespectful to somebody else, but I mean, it's like, if you turn it off at any point in time, then people are going to be questioning why you're turning it off, and of course, the evil people are going to make up lies about it. They're going to try to make it seem like you did something wrong. So, you know, but then again, there's also malfunctions. Sometimes the cameras just malfunction, or they get knocked off during a firefight or something, you know, or a struggle. So there's no perfect system. There's no perfect way to do any of it. But anyways, this is what I'm saying. Like, if I was sitting here actually discussing this with someone, with a person on stream or on a video, instead of just sitting here talking to myself about it, talking to the supposed audience that may eventually watch this video, you know, watch the stream, you know, then I would have somebody to actually discuss with it. I'd have, you know, ideas to bounce back and forth instead of just stating my opinion and how I see things. But I generally see things from a very practical and, in my opinion, intellectual stance. Because usually anybody who would argue a different opinion or argue against me, they almost always have to apply unequal, I would say, equations, calibrations, whatever. Like, they would always try to say, oh, this is equal to this because this and this. But then the things that they're saying are equal to each other are not even close to equal. Like the kind of people who are like, oh, insulting someone's gender is violence, but threatening to kill someone isn't violence. Like, technically neither of them are violence, but if you're threatening someone and you are actually, like, they believe that you are actually intending to go through with that threat, that is completely, you know, that is completely different from, I don't know, insulting someone. Because the thing about insults is, even though, yeah, sure, it might hurt you emotionally, might make you feel bad, it doesn't really do anything. You just ignore it. And that's the thing is, when you're young, you really need to learn how to ignore people, who are being disrespectful. How to just ignore morons, essentially. Like, if they're insulting you and the thing that they're saying about you is actually true, I mean, you should probably pay attention to what they're saying, and you should, even if they're not trying to constructively criticize you, you should treat it like constructive criticism. You should try to withdraw some information from it, and then you should try to better yourself. You should try to figure out what it is that they're complaining about, what they really mean, what they're talking about. You should try to find the truth behind it. Because again, all problem solving, the very first step is to correctly identify the problem. You can't fix a problem if you don't actually know what the problem is, or if you believe that the problem is something that it's not. Like, you smell something funny and you think, oh, I smell something funny. There must be something wrong with my lungs. I need to take a smoke. You light the cigarette and it turns out it was gas, and you blow the whole fucking place up, including yourself. That's not how. That's what I'm saying. You have to be able to correctly identify the problem in order to correctly solve. And then you have to come up with a solution to that problem, a solution that is going to actually effectively work. If it's a problem that has been solved before, at least temporarily, then you can start there. If it is a problem that has a permanent solution, then you'd think that it would already be solved. But anyways, if it's a problem that's never been solved before, that's when you get into the theoreticals. That's when you have to try to figure out what would be the most effective way to combat or solve the problem, or at least to treat it, or whatever it is you're able to do. Sometimes it's full experimentation, sometimes it's partial experimentation. Sometimes you have access to other information, such as physics, technology, or physics, or simulations, or people who have experienced it and have dealt with it in a way that was somewhat effective. You can gain more information that can eventually lead you to the ultimate solution, or even, like I said, even just a temporary solution, a band-aid, if you will. So there are absolutely ways to go about all of these things. But yeah, like I said, there's essentially, I so far had identified 2 types of people, and I'm realizing that there's a third kind of person who's just, I guess, uncaring. So we have evil people, we have stupid people, and then we have the I don't give a shit people, the people who just don't care. They're not concerned with it. They're not paying attention to what it is, and they just kind of, they're easily impressionable. They just kind of go along with whatever's happening because they haven't really formed an opinion yet, and they just kind of quickly latch on to the first opinion they're given and then go along with it. And eventually, when they do decide to start paying attention to it, then they may adapt, they may not adapt. They may decide, if they're more stubborn and less intelligent, in my opinion, then they will stick with the narrative that they've already been given. Like I said, I consider the people who think that everything that opposes their idea is a conspiracy theory, all the information and data that opposes them is conspiracy. I think that those people I consider part of the stupidity problem. Those people are part of that group of people. They're just confirmation. They just do confirmation bias, and that's it. That's all they do, and it's kind of annoying. But I mean, that's just the way it is sometimes. But anyways, so far I've been talking to myself for a very long time. I was playing the game. I've been streaming for a little over an hour. I was actually playing the game at first, but now I'm not. So at this point, I think I'm just going to go ahead and head off. But it's really aggravating to see evil or stupid people. Stupid people can be aggravating, but I'm borderline on hatred. I kind of do hate stupid people a little bit, but I don't hate them with a burning passion. My blood doesn't boil with fury against them. I just find them to be really fucking annoying. Like the dumb activists and all the people that are just doing the thing just because. But the people who know that what they're saying is a lie, the people who intentionally try to harm other people, because they're narcissists or whatever, those people I hate with a burning passion. I would not even bat my eyes if anything bad did happen to those people, because they are essentially evil. They are wishing evil and harm upon other people, people who are good people, people who are righteous. They want to destroy the world, like communists. And I guess if socialism is really close to communism. I don't remember what the difference was, but people who just want to completely destroy the world that has succeeded in order to basically give a bunch of free stuff to people who didn't work for it. Like, I understand aid, like sometimes people need help, but the problem is that the people who need help often are not getting help because the people who are lazy are coming in, they're begging and pretending like they need help, and then they're demanding more and more and more and more and more, and getting lazier and lazier and lazier, and wanting to do less and less and less, until eventually there's not enough resources. Like, after all the hard workers stockpile all the resources so that they'll have something for the people who need it when they need it, they just leech off the system until now suddenly we're barely able to survive on ourselves, much less give anything extra to them. And we're having to fork over literally every single ounce of extra resources that we obtain to them, and the people who actually need it get nothing, because they're doing everything they can to cheat the system. Like with all the whatever, the screwed up elections, like all the people who are doing election fraud, and all the people who are just straight up lying about stuff. And at first I was, I did have, like I said, the reason that I have been believing a lot of what I've been seeing about this situation is because I have witnessed some of this stuff firsthand. I have witnessed how people lie. I know exactly like how they go about lying. I've had people lie about me before in the past. So I have firsthand experience with how these liars go about lying, how they go about creating their fake little stories, and how they go about trying to manipulate people. And when it comes to politics, I've seen Democrats on the left, maybe not all of them, but all the ones that are super extreme and who are trying to, fight against Trump, and who are trying to, make out all these people like Leaflet and Nuxnor and, Tectone, all these people who are trying to make them out to be bad people, are using those same exact tactics that I've seen for years. Some of which, sometimes that are used against me, and other times where I've witnessed them being used against other people who I saw hadn't done anything wrong. So I know for a fact exactly how these people operate. I've been observing them for over a decade. I'm not going to say exactly how long, because you wouldn't believe me, but I've been observing this kind of behavior for a very long time. And like I said, I've personally experienced being on the bad end of the behavior multiple different times. And I know I didn't do anything wrong. There's no way they could have possibly believed that I didn't do anything wrong, but they still somehow made up lies saying that I did something wrong. And so then when I recognized the patterns, pattern recognition, because I happen to be capable of that, unlike certain people. And so when I started looking into, when I started paying more attention into these people like, Tectone, Nuxnor, Think Before You Sleep. Markiplier's a good dude too. He focuses more on the entertainment. He never gets into politics, but Markiplier, Jacksepticeye. There's all sort. Let's see, Colleen Noir. Like Colleen Noir. He talks about the Second Amendment rights. Like there are all sorts of content creators who are they seem to absolutely be good people, at their base, and their hearts, I believe, are in the right place. They want to help people, but they differentiate the difference between helping good people and helping bad people. They want to help good people, and they want to stop bad people from causing harm to good people. They don't just blanket statement and then want to help everybody. And like these people who want to help everybody, they're the same with like these people with the people, like I said, the people who I'm going to just refer to as Democrats or left-wing party or whatever, the extremists, not all of them, just the extremists. But the Nuxnor refers to all leftists as evil. Sometimes I'm not sure if he's joking or not, but I know that there are definitely some very evil ones within that group. But Yeah, this became a political conversation. I made it into a political conversation. It's my fault. But I'm not talking to anybody right now. Nobody's even going to know that I'm saying any of this until they eventually watch the video. So, and that's even if they stick around for the part where there's no gameplay. So, if you don't want to hear anything political, then I guess, well, I'm going to say that I guess you should close the video now. But you probably should have closed it like at the, I don't know, 50-minute mark or something. But anyways, there are definitely some evil individuals who are on the Democratic take. Crap! Now I forgot what I was about to go into another like subplot or sub conversation about them being evil. So, I mean, obviously they tell a bunch of lies and stuff. They try to steal things from you. But there was a specific rant that I was about to go on about like either why they're evil or how you can tell they're evil or something. But I got a little distracted trying to, because I'm over here instead of playing the game now. I'm over here staring at how long I've been live. It's approaching an hour and a half, and I realize that there's absolutely nothing happening on screen. And this is why I say, I'm not very entertaining. I'm basically Nuxnor, but I'm not reacting to anything, so I'm basically just sitting here blabbing. And now I've lost my train of thought, so I really want to remember what I was about to say so that I can go on finish up kind of where I was going with that. Something about why leftists are essentially evil, and I started saying Nuxnor thinks they're all evil, but I was specifying that I only think certain ones are evil. I don't want to repeat what I said earlier, but what was I about to talk about? I mentioned Cooling War and the other ones. Yeah, and I just made a shout out to like 10 different YouTubers. I was talking about why I was talking about how I was paying attention to them, and I noticed the patterns about how you could tell that the other people were lying, and people like Hassan Piker, how they just lie and they support terrorism and all that shit. I was gonna go on like a little tangent about how you can tell somewhere around there, but I forgot the exact thought process I had now. Now while I'm trying to remember it, unfortunately I'm still live and streaming, so I'm just sitting here saying nothing. I'm just spouting words that have no meaning other than I can't remember what I was talking about. Yes, being hyperactive tends to do that. Sometimes you lose track of your thought process. Normally I can pick it up rather quickly, but I've had to go all the way to backtracking just to try to figure out where I was going to go with that conversation. And this is why, like Think Before You Sleep says, having a script, having a written out script makes your videos much better. But I'm just making a video, I'm just streaming, so I hadn't even intended on talking about politics. But this is just really important stuff. It's stuff that's going on in the world right now, and it's very important that you are able to understand what is happening, because there are people trying to destroy the world. They're trying to ruin other people's lives, and then they'll sit there and they'll say that other people are the ones trying to ruin their life, trying to ruin your lives. They'll try to trick you into thinking that it's not them who's trying to ruin your lives. They're not the reason that everything's bad. It's somebody else. And if you have the advantage of being able to see clearly what is happening, then you can tell very obviously what is going on. You can tell that they're lying. Some people don't have that advantage. Some people don't really know what's going on. Other people are just less intelligent. Other people are evil and want to push that false narrative. So, sometimes you just have to go with your gut feeling. But anyways, my ability to critically think and pattern recognition allowed me to pick up on who was in the right and who was in the wrong. And whenever I watch, like I'm right now, Markiplier used to be my favorite YouTuber, but right now Nuxnor is officially my favorite YouTuber. Out of everyone that I've watched, Nuxnor is my favorite. I watch every single one of his new videos when it comes out, even though some of them share the same content. Like some of them have the exact same like parts of recording in them. Like sometimes I'll end up watching the same thing like 2 or 3 times, even though it was uploaded as a completely different video. And that part's a little annoying, but yeah, like, because what he says just makes sense. You know, if you pick it apart and you think about it logically, it makes sense. He'll point things out that, for me, I feel like, yeah, that's basically what I would have said about it. And it just, you know, it's good to see that there is somebody out there who is, you know, successful well, I guess he was successful right now because his YouTube platform has been almost completely demonetized. He hasn't been as financially successful. And, you know, he's not able to reach out to people who may not have watched him before. So yeah, he is being silenced. People are attempting to silence him. And it's not because he did anything wrong. He stands for the truth. He's trying to spread the truth. He's trying to let people know what is happening. And there are people who don't want you to know the truth. And yes, that absolutely does sound like a conspiracy. But yeah, those are the people who are evil. Right, I think I was about to explain like why I think it's okay for... Because it's like, you know, when you have a situation where like violent people they're saying, oh, I want violence to happen to certain people, like people who want violence to happen to President Trump. It's like, you know, for whatever reason, certain people have been told and led to believe that Charlie Kirk was evil, and that he's, you know, racist and all this stuff, and people have been led to, they have Trump derangement syndrome with it, where they think Trump is evil. And now I'm saying my perspective is that, you know, I think bad things should happen to evil, which is exactly what these people are saying. But the difference is that I actually observe what is happening, and there's a very obvious way to tell who's actually evil, who isn't evil. And I think that's where I was going with, like me identifying that I don't believe that Nuxnor or Tectone, I don't believe that they're bad people, I don't think that they're evil. You can just kind of tell. But there is absolutely a difference, because if someone, like I said, if someone tries to murder my, you know, if I get married to someone, yes, I'm single, but you know, nobody gives a crap about that. But if I were to marry someone and have kids, and someone were to try to murder my wife and kids, I would think of them as evil. I would immediately, if I had, you know, a weapon and a way to defend myself, I would immediately execute them. Because, you know, like I said, the moment you make that choice to attempt something like that, you are immediately signing your life over in my hands. You're saying, okay, I want to be a scumbag. I want to risk the possibility of someone defending themselves against me. And if you're going to threaten my family, I don't want you to come back and do it again later. So I would immediately execute somebody in that situation. And so, like I said, it's like what Nuxnor's been saying about America versus Iran. You know, we don't want things to be fair. We want to win. We want to defeat the enemy who has threatened us for, what was it, 40 plus years or whatever. We absolutely are not looking to, like, we're trying to be reasonable with these people, and these people have not been reasonable with us. They've killed people. They've threatened us. They've, you know, they are trying to spread. They're trying to like destroy. They literally invaded. What was it? So the Indians are the ones in Texas. They've invaded Michigan, I think it was. They've invaded Michigan completely. And like what Nuxnor says, they have a whole bunch of mosques. They can go to these mosques and pray. They have like 40-some mosques in the areas that are primarily dominated by Muslims. They can pray in the mosques, but they don't do that. They go out and they pray in the streets. And they do that to assert dominance. Because again, they're like not all of them, but just the ones that do that sort of stuff. Well, I mean, I guess the ones who organize that sort of stuff are asserting dominance. The ones who participate in it, not all of them might be evil. They may just be doing it because everyone else is doing it and they don't realize what's happening, which is exactly why you have to have an understanding of what is actually happening. You have to be paying attention. You have to be able to recognize the patterns to know what's going on. But anyways, it doesn't matter if it's religion, politics. It doesn't matter if it's. It doesn't really matter what it is. But yeah, let's see here. Am I streaming my screen or am I streaming the game? Oh, you know what? I didn't check it while I was playing the game to see if it actually picked up the game itself. Alright, OBS. Alright, hold up. I need to switch my screen. Okay, yeah, it's showing the right thing. This is a really cool cinematic, so I'm gonna let this play while but anyways, the whole point of what I was saying is I wish harm upon, like, I'm thinking of like a karma system. If someone is trying to cause harm to someone else, I would wish harm upon them. I would want them to suffer for attempting to hurt someone else. Like, I don't want them to be like tortured and have their fingernails pulled off. Like, if they pull someone else's fingernails off and torture them, then yeah, I'd want them to be tortured. But honestly, it would probably just be better for everyone if they just met a swift death, because then, they wouldn't be around to continue to torture anybody. And then, because I'm generally don't like the idea of torturing people, but I do think that we should suffer for the bad things that we do. And not everyone agrees with this. But like I said, that's the difference between me and, like, say, someone who hates Trump and wants Trump to die. It's because, like, they hate Trump. They've literally never met Trump. Me, if I saw, video evidence of someone, murdering a child and then laughing about it, and, I heard from other sources and could confirm that person was an evil person, you know what I mean? Like, if I meet someone if that person who's trying to murder my family, I encounter them in person and then have to, struggle with them in person to defend my family, of course I'm going to do whatever I can to eliminate them before they have a chance to get away and then come back later to try it again. Because I can confirm that they are a bad person. But like these people who hate Charlie Kirk, they literally never listened to any of his speeches. They never did any research. They never looked into who Charlie Kirk actually was. They just took the word of somebody else because they're gullible morons. They're idiots. They just listen to things and they believe things, and they don't ever actually fact check. They never check and look into it for themselves. And when they do look into it for themselves, they always look into it with a bias. They look into like a Hassan stream and listen to what Hassan's saying and use all the facts and things that Hassan is telling them, which are not real facts. They usually use the unequal comparisons where the two things are not even close to equal, but they still believe it. They'll use the false statements that they come up with. You know what I mean? They'll use things that are clipped out of context. They'll use all this information that isn't good information, isn't valid information, and they'll use that as a reason to say that the person is evil. The person, like that, they'll use that information, like false information, to say that Charlie Kirk or that Trump are evil. Now, there might be some there's usually corruption when you go higher up, so there could be some corruption in the Trump administration. But if, you know what I mean, like if as long as the corruption is like just, I feel like I would disapprove of the corruption, but because of all the good he's doing, he's more good than evil. So I feel like, depending on exactly what it is, I might be okay with it. But, overall, if everything that I'm understanding about Trump is true, then I believe that what he's doing is more good than evil, and I would be completely fine with supporting him. I don't have any money to do that, so I can't really do much to support him other than say, woohoo, go Trump, go MAGA, whatever. MAGA literally just means make America great again. So we're just trying to focus on bettering our country. It's called self-improvement. It's something that we are attempting to do to make our country a better place for everyone in it. And people are calling that fascism. Like, it's so fucking stupid. If you actually think about it, it makes no sense. It makes no sense. Trump can literally be voted out of office, and he would simply leave the office. I think he was voted out once before, and apparently those were cheated elections. So he didn't even get voted out, and he still stepped down. So, like, all of his opposition is cheating, and he's not cheating, and he's, following the law, and everyone's freaking out about him doing what's best for us and saying that that's not what's happening. It's like, oh my God. Anyways, that's my perspective. Now, again, if I'm provided with evidence that says otherwise, that is like actual believable evidence, I'll have to rethink my stance. But with all the evidence I've been provided with, and all that I've seen, all the corrupt, lying individuals who have tried to say horrible things about him and who have taken stances against him, so far it seems to me like Trump is an excellent president. He's doing his best to make the world a better place. Nuxinor is a very religious and morally upright guy. You know what I mean? Like Leaflet is, she's pro AI. She's just doing what she can to support I guess not everybody, but people who are willing to accept the support, people who are, not monstrous morons. Like Alana seems like she's got some common sense. You know what I mean? Like all these YouTubers, like Think Before You Sleep is freaking awesome. He always breaks everything down and makes it easy to understand. Even for people like for me, I feel like I have a pretty good sense of understanding when it comes to this stuff. I can usually analyze and figure out what's going on with a situation. But Think Before You Sleep simplifies everything so well and explains everything in a way that I feel like even complete morons could understand. So like it's so difficult for me to understand how anyone could be stupid enough to not like Think Before You Sleep's content. I mean, maybe you could consider it boring, but you can't say that it's very difficult. It would be very difficult for me to understand anyone saying that it doesn't make sense. But then again, I tend to be on a higher, which all that right now in this video is just self-proclaimed. Like you'd have to actually watch me, and I can definitely be a dumbass sometimes. So you can't take my word on it. Like I'll say it because I believe it to be true, and of course I'm just all about telling the truth. But you should always try to observe things and analyze things and form your own opinion on things. And like you can completely agree with somebody or you can completely disagree with somebody, but you need to make sure that you've gathered enough evidence. You don't want to just take one instance and try to form your opinion off of that one instance or that one video or that one short 3-second clip you saw of somebody where they were having a whole conversation. And just because, like I said, literally no joke, Arnold Schwarzenegger is an actor, right? What if somebody just clipped the last part of his name and then clipped me saying the last part of his name and then said that I was racist because of that? My cousin literally tried to do that. He didn't clip it and put it on the internet or anything, but he tried to say I was racist for saying that, for talking about the actor. And this was something that happened recently. He tried to say a whole bunch of negative things about me, and that was pretty much how he went about all of it. And I found out he was very narcissistic, and that was stuff that I didn't know about him before. And that was after I offered him a significant amount of help financially. But anyways, like this is just how these people operate. They have confirmation bias. They will take anything that possibly even slightly supports what they want to believe, not what they currently do believe, because a lot of them don't actually believe it. They realize that it's false information, but they try to convince other people to believe it, and then they go with the popular narrative. They're like, see, everyone's on my side. It's totally right, even though they know for a fact that it's not right. It's like cheaters. Cheaters will literally, like they'll make streams and recordings and videos of them cheating, and then they'll sit there and talk, and they'll talk so much crap to other players, and they'll act like they're the best and they're gods, and they'll sit there and like stroke their own ego, and they're like, yeah, see, look how popular I am, blah blah blah. And then when they get caught, it's somewhat obvious beforehand, honestly. Sometimes it's really hard to tell, but sometimes it's really freaking obvious. But after they're caught, a lot of times they still won't admit it, even though it's so obvious. Once they've been caught by who, like I say, if it's Komomo 10 is another guy that I watch. I don't even play Rust. I don't play that game. I've never played Rust before in my entire life. But Komomo 10, he fights against cheaters. He doesn't use the method I would use. Like I said, I think that I think we need to start going back to like more severe and harsh punishments. I definitely don't think that the death sentence should be an immediate thing unless they're trying to kill someone else. You know what I mean? It's like what it comes around like. It's like damage reflection. You know what I mean? Like whatever they do, they should be punished with something similar. If they're aggravating and annoying people, then they should be aggravated and annoyed. If they're trying to steal from someone, then they should have everything taken from them and be given to the people they were trying to steal from. If they torture someone, then they should be tortured. If they try to kill someone, then they should be given the death sentence. I think that we should make these punishments very, I think we should make these punishments more harsh and very fitting for the scenario. Because once they experience what they were trying to cause to someone else, it may give them some perspective. They may understand, oh, that's how I made that other person feel. I don't like how that feels. They probably didn't like how that feels. Maybe I shouldn't do that to others, and hopefully others won't do that to me. I feel like that would be a more effective punishment system than what we're currently doing, which is essentially just saying that people can go on the internet and do whatever they want, and then there's like almost no punishment for anything bad that people do. People can literally make up lies, and those lies actually hold up in court, and the person can be convicted for a crime with zero freaking evidence. And that's ridiculous to me. That is so stupid. I sure as heck don't want to live in a society that's like that. Like, I've thought about leaving this world many times, many freaking times. I was just, kind of procrastinated a little bit and didn't stop thinking about it. But it's like I don't want to live in a world where somebody could literally just make up a lie about me and then me be convicted of something bad with no proof whatsoever, because there's not going to be any proof because I don't do bad shit. And so these people don't have proof. And that's the world that these evil people that I'm talking about are trying to create. They are doing their best to make people believe that they should judge others based off of what the liar is saying, and not based off of actual evidence. They're doing everything they can to push this in courts, to push this online, to push this just for people's opinions, to people to form their opinions based off of so little information. They're doing everything they can to turn that into that situation. That way they can literally just lie through their teeth about everything and then have everything go their way. That is what they're attempting to do. And unfortunately, on many levels, it seems like it is working. People are finally, snapping back to reality and finally realizing, hey, wait a minute, this is all wrong. It's completely wrong. But it's scary how close things are to evil being successful at just completely conquering everything. But anyways, that was just a really long rant. But yeah, so when it comes to bad things happening to bad people, I'm perfectly fine with that. I think good things should have, and that's part of the, like, when you're a child, that's the punishment system that's the system, the punishment reward system that you need to teach a child right from wrong. When they do good things, they need to be rewarded. When they do bad things, they need to be punished. If they don't do either thing, then they, no effect. Like there should be, that's how you need to teach your child what the difference between right and wrong. And the part where I think I would have trouble with that is, like, if the child is being loud in a public space, and I would prefer for them to be, less loud because they might be bothering other people. That, I think, is the one thing I might struggle with a little bit, because you have to be very careful about how if you're too soft, then they're going to ignore you and keep, being loud if you're not harsh enough with your punishment. But if you're too harsh with your punishment, then it might, I don't know, it might cause problems. Like, it might cause the child to not understand why they were punished. And like I said, when they're really, really young, that's the part that I'm worried about. Once they get older, once they start, they have more brain development and they can understand what's happening better, then I can explain things to them, and I can punish them for not listening, and not just for doing random things and being hyperactive. But when they're really young, that's the phase that I'm scared of. I'm afraid, if I ever have a child, I'm afraid of how I would handle that extremely young phase, because I could try to be slightly more severe. I could try to figure out a level to where they won't do it again, but it won't traumatize them. And that's the thing, you have to know exactly where that perfect level is, and I don't, because I haven't had that much experience with, like, really young children, because I usually avoid really young children. But when it's my child, I would have to be a part of their life, and I would have to try and teach them and not avoid them. So for me, that experience is terrifying for me, because I would be afraid that I would cause some sort of mental trauma, or that I would mess up my child in some way, shape, or form. But I feel like, I would never do something so extreme that, it would completely mess them up. And so I feel like it would be okay. but I have just that internal fear that somehow something would get messed up, either by my hand or maybe by someone else's hand. Maybe some random stranger would, indoctrinate my child in school, and then I'd have my child just wouldn't ever. My child would become incredibly stupid because even if I try to teach them critical thinking, maybe they would misunderstand something and they would pick up a belief that was just so far out there that there'd be no way for me to. And it's like, okay, if they disagree with me about certain things, like there are things that are facts and there are things that are opinions. Opinions, like what's your favorite color? You know what I mean? Like what do you enjoy spending your time doing? And there are even some beliefs that could be opinion. What religion do you believe is, the one true religion? Some of that is really just opinion. You know what I mean? Like you could believe that there's a God or that there's not a God, and regardless of, like, you could take in the evidence and you could say, okay, well, maybe I believe there's a God, but which God is it? You know what I mean? Like there are some things that can be opinion, but there are some things that are fact, like things that we prove through science, like the fact that atoms exist. Now, sure, we were wrong about atoms being the smallest molecule. There's protons, neutrons, protons, neutrons, and electrons, and we may learn more. But that's the thing. You have to be able to understand that we don't know everything, and that we can always learn and improve. Just like with self-improvement, we can always increase our knowledge, increase our vocabulary base to learn more words, learn better ways to describe things. There are always ways that we can improve. We are not at the best that we can possibly be ever at any point in time in our existence or in our lives. So whatever you believe, there are some things that you could possibly may not be right about. And there are a lot of things that I'm fairly certain I'm right about. But there are certain things that I'm like, well, I'm not sure if I'm right. And even about the things that I'm certain that I'm right about, if there's undeniable proof shown to me that I'm wrong about it, then I'm going to change my opinion. And I feel like people should understand that, but there are so many people who just straight up refuse to accept that they're wrong about things. And there are some things that are provable and some things that aren't, and some things that, even though they're not provable, are almost guaranteed to be of a certain result. And like all of that just kind of becomes something that should be simple, but it can end up being a complicated mess. Like I said, it's all about the definition between right and wrong. People, even though right and wrong has been very clear for such a long time, there are people who are doing their best to try and change those definitions so that they can, essentially, because they're trying to, I believe it's the whole communist trying to destroy the West thing. They're just trying to destroy the definition of right and evil. They're trying to rewrite history. They're trying to convince us of something different. And I know that in history, like the victor writes the history books. So I do know that there's a possibility that everything that I learned in history class may not be entirely true. But some people are trying to say things about history that are pretty much proven to not be true, that are guaranteed to not be true. So it's like, on one hand, it's like, sure, there might be some things that are wrong or that I disagree with, but on the other hand, do you know what we use the history for? To teach lessons. We learn from the past. We learn from the mistakes of the past, mistakes we've made or mistakes other people have made. So even though I would prefer the truth and I'd prefer for it to be entirely accurate, if it's not, as long as it is teaching an important and valuable lesson, then I feel like, to me, it's not going to be that big of a deal. But anyways, I've been ranting for so long. But anyways, so yeah, I definitely think that evil people deserve to have bad things happen to them, and I think that good people deserve to have good things happen to them. And that was kind of where I was going, because I know that the way that I originally said it was going to sound really bad, and I know somebody who's evil, who's pure evil, is going to try to clip that and take it out of context and and again, they're going to use those unequal comparisons. They're going to say, see, is this not the same as saying that you hope that Trump's family dies or something like that. They're going to try to make it seem like it's the exact same scenario when it's not. Because again, these people, even though it's a very similar situation, because these people, for whatever reason, think Trump is evil, they've never met Trump. They've never spoken to Trump. They've never been in a situation where they actually, you know what I mean? They've never actually seen Trump do anything bad. They've just heard all the fake stories told by liars about the bad things he's done. And so they've done no research. They haven't even considered what if. And that's the thing. I always consider the possibility of what if. What if I'm wrong? These people who are evil and stupid never do that. They never consider, oh, what if I'm wrong? What if Trump isn't evil? They don't do that. They just go forward with it, and then they try to actively force everyone else to believe what they believe, and they do that through lying and creating false information about Trump being evil, instead of trying to look for actual, you know what I mean? They try to look for situations that they can manipulate into making it seem like Trump's evil, instead of situations where Trump actually did something wrong. And they will almost exclusively do that because that is the only way that they can get enough information of him supposedly being evil for them to convince other people of that opinion. And so that's why Trump derangement syndrome is basically just a bunch of people making up a bunch of lies about him to make him seem like a really bad dude. At least from my perspective, that's the way it seems. And so that's in those kinds of people who are actively, intentionally lying about it. Like the dumb ones, they're annoying. But I wouldn't want to wish any harm upon them. But the ones that are actually pure evil, that know that what they're doing is lying, and they're still doing it, I would wish the worst punishments upon those people. Because again, those people are evil. I'm not saying specific names because I don't know who's really evil and who's not. But if you have someone who is intentionally, like deep down in their heart, if they are intentionally wanting to perform acts of evil and cause pain and suffering to others, I would want those specific people, to feel pain and suffering themselves. But I can't say for sure who those people are or who those people aren't, so I'm not going to name any specific people because I wouldn't know. Unless they're people that I've encountered in real life and that I've witnessed them doing things that I can confirm are evil, like that I know it's not just not just a misconception based on perception. If I know for a fact that they actually were performing evil acts and attempting to be evil, then yeah, I would want evil upon those specific people. But beyond that, like, it's all just, well, I don't really know what's going on, but I hope people get what they deserve. I hope good people get good things happen to them, and I hope bad people have bad things happen to them. That's what I'm saying. And these people are going after Charlie Kirk, they're going after Trump, and they're saying, I hope the worst things possible happen to these people because they are pure evil. Like, they're not saying, well, from what I've seen, or from what I've been told, they seem like really bad people. I'm going to look into it a little bit, and if I can confirm that they're bad people, then I hope that they get what they deserve. No, their opinions are completely different. They're like, I want the worst possible thing to happen to them. And like I said, there's absolutely a difference between stupidity, there's a difference between evil, and then there's a difference between good people. I always think back on the Star Wars scene. Only a Sith deals in absolute. So people who are evil won't let you stand on the fence and, observe and try to figure out what's right and what's wrong so that you can choose what's right. They will harass you, and they will try to convince you that you need to side with them immediately. They're just like scammers too. They will try and they won't give you a second to breathe. They won't give you a second to think. They'll say, I'm going to tell you what's right and what's wrong, and you have to go along with this because it's right and because I'm telling you it's right. Instead of letting you, because they know that if you take a step back and take a few moments to think about it, you're going to realize what's actually going on and what's not. And unfortunately, there are also a lot of impatient people. Like I said, the stupid people are usually also impatient. Some smart people are impatient too, but there's stupidity, there's impatience, there's laziness. All these negative attributes kind of combine into people not being able to choose the right path, not being able to make the good decisions, and not being able to figure out what the difference between right and wrong, because they just don't want to take the time to figure it out. Like I said, no one's going to sit here and listen to me fucking speak for for over an hour in a 2-hour stream that was supposed to be just video games. Nobody's going to sit here and listen to all this. Nobody's going to get through all of this because no one has the patience for it. No one's interested and knowing the difference between right and wrong, people are only interested in entertainment. That's what YouTube's all about, entertainment. Which is why, like I said, Nuxanor, Think Before You Sleep is usually not all that entertaining, but he's a heck of a lot more entertaining than I am, that's for sure. But Nuxanor is incredibly entertaining. He tells jokes. He's got like a VTuber avatar that kind of bounces around and does animations. He's reacting to videos, and then he's just laughing about how ridiculously stupid some of these people are when they say certain things, and it's you can really relate to that, and it's honestly entertaining. It's very entertaining, and even just the sound of his voice I find to be quite entertaining. Like I like Nux. I like Nuxanor. I think he's an entertaining guy, and he seems like a very honest and straightforward guy. He's doing a way better job than I'm able to do. Because, like I said, I'm just sitting here basically complaining about evil people existing. And even though we do need evil people to exist, like we had to be able to gauge, how can we know what is good if we don't know what is bad? Once you've experienced bad, once you've experienced good, you'll know what you like and you'll know what you don't like. And that's part of being a kid. When you're a kid, you know that you don't like the feeling of your hand getting burned, and you know that your hand got burned because you put it on the stove and the stove happened to be hot. You may not fully understand it, but it's like it's the reward punishment system. Even though no specific person punished you, you received a negative. You did not like due to your instincts, your nerves. You received those danger signals. Oh, my hand is burning. Ah, it's hot, and that taught you that you don't like the feeling of being burned. And so when you're older, when you know that things are hot, your like natural instinct is to think back on that moment and think, oh yeah, I definitely want to avoid that. So you want to avoid pain. Most people don't like pain, and so our natural instinct is to avoid pain, avoid experiencing it. And so we will, and so that's the thing. You kind of have to experience bad things in order to know that those things are bad, that you don't like them, that you don't want to experience them again. But once you've experienced bad things, once I don't think that we should be forced to suffer, to constantly be experiencing bad things and bad things and bad things, and to go through a miserable life. I think that we just need to occasionally be reminded that bad things do exist and that we want to avoid them. And other than that, though, I don't think that any kind of like suffering should occur. And even though that would kind of make people a little bit soft, I feel like we would live happier as long as it works the way I imagine it would. I feel like we would live happier lives. Like we definitely need to experience some struggle, some strain, some suffering. We need to be able to work hard. But I really wish that there was more of a limit, a cap to it, so that we don't have to experience as much as what we do. Because once you've learned the lesson, as long as you don't become lazy or become, uncaring, as long as you remember well every instance, from those initial experiences, that would allow you to be able to correctly understand what is good and what is evil. As long as you're able to continue pushing those memories to the front of your cortex to constantly think about them, then you will always have good judgment and a good understanding between good and evil, between what is right and what is wrong. And so that would allow you to essentially avoid, becoming corrupt or whatever the situation is. You would be able to stay sharp. It's like, practice makes perfect. Well, unfortunately, we do still have to practice experiencing evil so that we know how to avoid becoming it, so that we know how to keep it away from us and our loved ones. Because, like I said, you don't want to have a world completely devoid of evil, because if you do that, people are gonna start failing at understanding how to fight against evil. But at the same time, I wish there was so much less of it than there is. I wish that it was all like in a museum, to where you had to occasionally visit the museum and then re-witness, or go watch videos and re-witness what evil people do and how they operate, instead of actually experiencing it in the real world. Because then people would suffer so much less. We take the evil people, we stuff them in prisons and zoos, whatever. You know what I mean? We wipe out the rest, and then we treat it as a disease. You know what I mean? Like, people still catch the common cold. We haven't completely eliminated the common cold, and that allows us to build up our immune system. Like, things have been designed in this world to operate the way that it operates, and I think that that's perfectly natural and normal. But at the same time, I just really hate evil people. Like, if I were to ever get into scam baiting, I would be going after these people. I wouldn't just find out who they are, where their call center is. I wouldn't just waste their time. I would go to exactly where they are, and I would make sure that they never scammed anyone ever again. And you know what that would do? If I succeeded, then that would completely the call scammers would just start disappearing, because they would be afraid to scam people, because they would be afraid of what would happen to them if they scammed people. And so they would just completely stop scamming people. So if I was somehow like, I don't think I would be able to actually do that, because I don't have the resources to do that, or the appropriate skills. I'm really good at being stealthy in video games, but I don't think I'd be able to be like a real life assassin or anything. But I would very specifically want to target evil people who steal, like, because think about it. If an old person, they're gonna pass their stuff to their children, their grandchildren, or maybe they're gonna give it to charity or whatever. But these people, they spent their entire lives building up their. And I watch Scammer Payback, and I've been watching a lot of Kip Boga lately. But so there's two more shout outs to my non-existent audience of people that they could watch. But these people have been, and it's very entertaining. Like, when they create this content, it's very entertaining. That's the only thing that would be missing from my end of things. I would be less entertaining and just simply more efficient at making the world a better place. But we've got so many videos from all these different scam baiters now, and there would still be scam baiters. There would still be some that would think, oh, you know what? I'm still going to go ahead and risk this, even though something really bad might happen to me. So there we would still need scam baiters, but it would just be so much less of a problem. But I mean, that's the thing, though. It would be an effective solution, and it would be completely legitimate. It would be completely humane. Like, these people should not be, because, like I said, if your grandma, if one of these people steals all of your grandma's money that she spent her entire life working for, that is such a disgusting scumbag thing to do. So I feel like these people would deserve no mercy. Absolutely none whatsoever. No mercy. If they're willing to change their way of life, then fine. Like, that's what I would prefer. I would prefer if they change their way of life. But again, if they refuse to change their way of life, then they would deserve what would be coming to them. They would deserve the finality of what I would do if I was capable of doing something like that. You know what I mean? If I had the money and the equipment, and probably protection, like the U.S. Embassy protection kind of thing. Like, I'd basically be like a what is it, vigilante. I'd be like something you'd see in a movie, is what I would want to do to them. And like I said, I wouldn't go after. And that's the thing, like, the call centers, maybe they're hiring new people because of the way that they do things, and because of like the way that they like indoctrinate the younger generation to believe that that's what they're supposed to do, because they teach them to believe that United States people are spoiled and evil, or whatever it is that they teach them. So there could be like a new guy at the call center who hadn't scammed a single person in their life, and maybe by the end of the day they would have realized, hey, this isn't for me. I don't want to do this. So that would be the problem. So I would want to like try to go after them one at a time, like one individual at a time. Like, I would figure out the exact person. I'd find their face and their voice, and then I would like follow them home, and then maybe like deal with them in their sleep or something like that. That's the kind of way that I would want to go about things like that, because I wouldn't want to accidentally harm the innocent, because that, I feel like hurting innocents is part of being evil. And even though there is collateral damage in war, and you can't necessarily avoid it, I mean, you do your best to avoid it. If something like that were to happen, I'd feel bad, but at the same time, I'd know that, what I'm doing is overall helping. If they're gone, then they're no longer they're not going to suffer. And I'm getting rid of the evil people so that good people who are still here won't suffer. So that's kind of my overall, the way that I look at things like that. And some people will actually believe that I'm a bad person because of this, and others will understand that I'm a good person, and they'll try to make up lies and say that I'm that I'm evil, because they'll try to manipulate what I've said in order to make other people believe that I'm evil. But you have to have the intelligence and the understanding to realize how the world works, how everything functions, and you have to be able to figure out the most effective solutions for the most people, or at least the most good people. I don't care about evil people. I do not want to create any solutions for evil people. If they choose not to be evil, guess what? They've got solutions available to them. But if they continue to be evil, I don't think there should be any solutions to them. I think that the solution is to wipe them out so that they cannot continue to being evil. That's just how I view things. But a lot of people just think, oh, all killing is bad. It's like, well, yeah, killing innocent people is bad. Like I said, murder is bad. If they come and they try to kill your family members and your loved ones, that's bad. But if you kill that person while defending your family and loved ones, that's good, because you just stopped a horrible person from committing a horrible event, a horrible crime on someone you care about. So it's not bad, because why did they choose to do that in the first place? Especially now with all the financial aid, with all the food kitchens, and all the everything that we've built, all the spare resources that the lazy and evil people are trying to soak up and steal. We have ways of making it to where you don't have to steal from people, and you don't have to randomly murder people. Like, you don't have to go about doing that anymore. So nowadays it's just, people are just fucking psychotic. Like, I've been watching, again, another call out for a YouTuber, Mr. Ballin. He tells a lot of like horror stories, and I think there was one that I watched, I don't know, somewhere around a year ago, maybe like 8 months ago. I was gonna say 6 or 7, but it's like more like 8 months ago, maybe 9 months. But I watched it a while back. But there was a video where he was talking about how these people, they just wanted to kill someone. They got really excited, and they went and they murdered someone, and then they got a rush out of it, so they started doing it more often. They started targeting people and going after them, and like they would try to go out in a car together, and then they would like lure them in and kill them, because they were just like younger people. They were teenagers, because they just got like this bloodlust. And to me, I feel like that's evil. That is just pure evil. And some people, they do that. Some people aren't, they're not trying to live their best life. They're not trying to live in a world where they're understanding of other people. There are some people out there who just have a desire to kill and have a desire to be evil people. And those are the kind of people that I would want to get rid of. Those are the people that I don't want living in this world. And yeah, like we could try to punish them by torturing them or whatever. But no, I'd rather just get rid of them as quickly and efficiently as possible, so that I can move on to creating things, so that I can move on to teaching people, so that I can, put my time to better use than having to deal with all these evil people, all these wicked, horrible morons that want to make life harder for everyone else. And that's where, like, when it comes to prisons right now, I feel like prisons need to be reformed so that they do more of what they're supposed to do. A prison is supposed to help people. It's supposed to. I forgot what the exact word is, but prisons are supposed to make it so that you can. They're supposed to punish you so that you realize your mistakes. Ask for forgiveness. You go back out into the world, and you become part of society again. You know what I mean? Rehabilitate. That's the word. Prisons are supposed to rehabilitate people so that they can go back out into the world. But a lot of times, once someone's been in the prison system, they keep going back over and over and over and over and over again, because they're not receiving a harsh enough punishment. They're not regretting what they did, and they're just going out and doing it again. And so those people need to just be gotten rid of. My tax dollars are going to keeping them fed, keeping them clothed, keeping the prison running, paying the guard salaries. I feel like those people, once you've gone back to prison, like 3 or 4 or 5 times, at some point we just need to give them the death sentence, and it shouldn't be like a long 20-year death sentence. We give them a month. We say, hey, we try to contact their family members, and if their family members can't be contacted within a month, because they didn't, for some reason they didn't let people have their phone number, there was no way that we could have contacted them, then it's their own fault that their child They didn't get to see, you know, the demise of their child or friend or brother or sister or whoever, aunt, uncle, whoever it was that got put down. It was that person's fault for committing the crime. It was their fault for not being able to get a hold of. And again, there's always exceptions. There is the exception of what if they got kidnapped? What if they had an Iron Man happen to them, where they got held in like a cave for several months, and then when they got out, they found out that their person was, and we couldn't get rid of them, and it wasn't necessarily their fault. So there are always exceptions you have to consider. But for the most part, like 99% of them, if we couldn't get a hold of them to let them know, then it would be their fault. And if we could get a hold of them, then they would obviously make the time to come and say their goodbyes to their loved ones and, you know, say, I don't know why you did what you did, but, you know, you shouldn't have done it. And, you know, I'll still love you, but, you know, goodbye. And then that's it. You know what I mean? Like giving them a final meal and all that BS. No, if they wanted to have a final meal, then they should have went out and had that meal instead of trying to do commit whatever crime that they committed. Like, I don't think we should be giving these people any sort of privileges whatsoever. I mean, yes, there's the possibility that there was a false, you know, imprisonment, but with technology and with everything that we have these days, if we actually fix the laws to where they only go to prison if we, you know, can prove that they did it, and otherwise, you know what I mean, then it's just so unlikely for innocent people to go to prison now, unless like based on technology. Now, based on the lies that people make up about them, if we go off of just witness testimony, then it's actually very likely that someone's going to go to prison because, I mean, it's good that they do the whole cross-examination thing. It's good that they have the techniques that they have, but they need to make full use of those techniques. But right now, the prisons, the police, the investigators, everyone's overwhelmed with this massive amount of crime that's going on. And that's why, again, I support Donald Trump, because he's lowering the crime rate. If he can lower the crime rate enough to where our police departments across the nation are not overwhelmed, that means the investigators can actually take the time to properly investigate things, which will reduce the likelihood, with that plus the improved technology, it will reduce the likelihood that an innocent person will go to prison. So again, there are so many ways, self-improvement, even national improvement, as there are so many ways that we can improve the world and ourselves so that things can be better in the future. And all we have to do is try and focus on doing better, either for ourselves or for others. And I think that's where I'm going to end it. Since I'm going to go ahead and end this with the cinematic, which you can just look this up on YouTube. But this is a really.
I used to feel so much peace staring into the heavens until a piece of it fell.
I guess I'll do it without my commentary. I don't want to get blamed or something. Without hearing my voice.
And the nightmare began.
It's Rainbow Six Extraction. It does have like scenes characters.
We thought it could be contained, but it evolved.
So I may have to cut this out.
So we did too.
One of our own is MIA. I need an extraction team now.
But yeah, so I really
if
like
there's
this game.
a way to stop them, you will find it.
I think somebody should get this game.
But I know
I like
you will find me first.
Okay, the plan. Nomad, secure our exit. I'll take out the nests.
And I'll find Ivana.
But
I have your
the
signal.
cool thing is,
Let's
since
go.
I've played this game so much, like I recognize all the enemies, I recognize like all the equipment.
We're already out of the nests.
Incoming! Clear the area!
And it's really neat, like the graphics and the set. Because in the game, things kind of look like.
Stand back!
That's not an execution, it's actually in the game. And these guys right here, these guys, when you shoot them, they explode spikes everywhere, and it has a much
Let's move
larger
out.
radius than when in the actual game, when they explode, it's like an actual explosion, like a high explosive grenade, not a fragmentation grenade. And most frag grenades in video games, they have
I found
a
her!
high explosion kind of grenade, not a fragmentation kind of grenade.
Ivana!
So
Hold
video
on!
games usually just do. And then this guy, these guys right here, this is. So it's really neat, like the graphics and the set. Because in the game, things kind of look like.
Down!
And it's really neat, like the graphics and the set. Because in the game, things kind of look like. like this right here, you don't shoot all the nodes.
I've got company!
Coming through!
Countermeasures!
And I'm assuming that was either an impact thing or
Check. Make for the exit.
so it never really explains how she do it.
An apex! Get down!
Here the enemy just kind of
Ella, look out! I don't have the shot!
like I really do like the way that
Not so fast.
Matters is better than
Target the breacher!
see the spikes.
Now's our chance!
Nomad, blow the door! Cover me!
So it's probably an explosive. So yeah, like Nomad in this game, Nomad had like either impacts or nitro cells or something to blow up. And somebody had cracked me in this game.
Hey, you all throwing me a party?
Yeah. Too bad you missed all the fireworks.
Team, it's Ash. We're not done yet. VIP down and...
So I just really like this cinematic. It always just I'm gonna show the cinematic to a friend, which is why I had it up, and so I'm just gonna fast forward it back. Orion, huh? You know, I don't actually. Oh, okay, I see. Access the orbital decay bundle. Okay. But yeah, that's just I really like
I
that.
used to feel...
Nope. I really like that cinematic. I'm planning on showing it to a friend who's just started playing. I'm sure you may have seen them on my friend list earlier in the video or stream or whatever. What was it? It was the dude whose name was crap. What was his name? Hold on, let me find. Yeah, I've got him right here on the Xbox app. Yeah, My Cheeto Toes. My Cheeto Toes is the guy who I'm going to show that cinematic to. We're also going to be playing some Aliens Fireteam Elite soon as well, so I'm hoping to be able to play with him. I am a little worried about streaming with him because I don't want him to say my real name and expose who I am in real life. Because, people will try to murder me. Harassing me, I really would prefer if people didn't harass me, but I'm sure they will. There's nothing I can do about that, really. What I'm really worried about is people. I guess it's good for me right now, so I guess it's not as bad as it could be. But overall, I would like to avoid the entire situation. But the fact that I am a good person and I support things that are good, evil will try to come for me, and evil will try to make my life as comfortable as possible. I like to live in hell. So I'm expecting it. Not particularly looking forward to it, but I am. But yeah, alright then. Thank you everybody so much for watching. Thank you for suffering with me today. My name's Lord Shadowfang, which I forgot to mention at the beginning of the video, but I'm sure you can probably tell if you found this video, you know who I am. I'm Lord Shadowfang. And use your brains, and have a great rest of your day or night. I still don't really have an outro. I have an intro, but I haven't streamed in a while, so I haven't used the intro, and I don't really have much of an outro. But anyways, I'll figure it out, or maybe I won't. Maybe I'll just stop ever streaming or making videos. Like I said, nobody watches my stuff anyways. But those are my stances. Suck it up.